there, you're welcome to the only show that brings you happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations, diplomatic affairs. My name is Harriet Nartey. The show comes off every Saturday between the hours of 4 to 5 o'clock p.m. and we are also global across social media and Facebook. You can always catch up with us and get to know what is happening in this area. We are also in over 40 African countries in the interest of Pan-Africanism. So it is good to join us every Saturday and learn about all the current affairs when it comes to diplomatic exchanges, foreign policy of countries, and of course, learn what is happening at the global stage. So we have quite a number of stories lined up just for you. And I'm sure you would want to know more about it. So to begin, let me go through the headlines with you. We will take a break and bring you all the details. 146 member states of the United Nations General Assembly have recognized Palestine's statehood. Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration has successfully held the third Made in Ghana Bazaar as part of boosting Ghana's economic diplomacy agenda. And also the 61st African Union Day has been observed in Ghana with a flag hoisting ceremony. And Ghana also observed 76th United Nations Day under the theme Fit for the Future, Building Better Together. UNESCO observes Africa Week with a focus on education through culture. And of course, we have Italy marking its National Day, also serving as the end of tenure of the Italian ambassador to Ghana, Her Excellency Daniela Dolandi. We have all the details. Now to our first story, Palestine has for more than decades craved to be recognized as a sovereign state. Events commencing on October 7, 2023 intensified calls on United Nations General Assembly to recognize Palestine as a sovereign state. Now today, 146 out of the 193 member states of the United Nations have voted overwhelmingly for Palestine to be recognized as a sovereign state. I had the pleasure of sitting with the ambassador of the state of Palestine here in Ghana to discuss what this move means for Palestine and its people. Today we are coming to you from the residence of the ambassador of the state of Palestine here in Ghana, and we will be talking to him. To be honest with you, we've always wanted to have this conversation, but we always wanted to talk about the positives when it comes to relations, bilateral relations between the state of Palestine and of course the Republic of Ghana. Today we are here and we're excited. Most importantly, we can talk about what is happening, the current situation in Gaza, and of course the people, the suffering of the people, which has actually affected the entire world when it comes to security and even economically, not to talk about the situation in the Middle East. So there is so much to talk about today, and we are very much excited to be coming to you from the residence of the ambassador of the state of Palestine here in Ghana. He is in the person of His Excellency Abdel Fattah Ahmed Khalil Asatari, and there is so much to talk about. Excellency, it's good to have you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I'm so happy to be here, finally.
Me too, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Now, let's start our conversation. Let's begin with your representation here in Ghana. It's amazing. You become family. You are Ghanaian. You know, I always say that because you are very close to the people of Ghana. And I see the works you've been doing with the various, the charity, the events you organize for the less privileged in our society, and how involved you are when it comes to the socio-economic development of our country. First of all, you've been here for the past 10 good years.
Yes, sir, please.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your experience in Ghana for the past 10 years.
First of all, thank you so much for this interview, and you are welcome. And I'd like to thank all the Ghanaian people about their support to Palestine and the Palestinian people. I spent in Ghana 10 years now, close to 10 years, and I'm feeling happy in this country because it is peaceful country, and all the people in Ghana has the culture of the peace, and this is very important. In this world, you cannot find it in a lot of countries that the people looking to living in peace, Muslims and the Christian, all the people try to find work to win small money to help their families, and all the people working together. And before 5 years, when I finished the first 5 years, my ministry asked me if you like to remove you to another country. I told them no, I want to continue here in Ghana, because as I told you, I like this country. And when my car stopped in the traffic lights and I see the children sealing small things, and the women have heavy things on their head and sealing the water or some food, I know that those people have very big dignity, and they like their country, and they like to help their families too. So when my minister asked me, you like to remove you to another country, I told him no, I want to continue in Ghana here, because as I told you, I like this country, and I try to work hard in Ghana to increase the relationship between Ghana and Palestine. The last week I went to Volta region. We built their school and borehole to the people, and you will surprise now. When one of the Palestinian people sent the money to do the borehole to the people and the mosque, I asked one of my friends, somebody Blackwa, he's a Christian, I want to do this in some place. He told me there is some place in my country for Muslims community. I want to do it there. He's a Christian.
The MP.
Yes,
for
the MP.
Not
yes.
Tong constituency.
Yes, Honorable Samuel Blackwa. And I invite him to open the mosque and the borehole to the people. When I went there, it is a small village, the people don't have water. When they want to bring small water, they should go more than 7 kilometers to bring small water to their families. Now they have borehole, they can drink water, they can drink their animals, they can...
In their community.
They can use it, yes, they can use it to the agriculture. So the people here in Ghana there is no big difference between the Muslims and the Christian. And in my culture, and when I visited the universities, I told the students, if you are a Christian in the church, if you are Muslim in the mosque, but outside we are living like one family, and we should be one family. This is very important here in Ghana. And maybe the next week I will go to the north, because one of the Palestinian businessmen, he sent money to build a school, and we finish it, and mosque and borehole to the people in the area of, I think, the Minister of Sport. It is very far from here, but we close to finish it. Maybe the next week we'll finish everything.
You should take us. Would like to see what you are doing on the ground.
I like the country. I like the people. I like to stand by the side of my brothers and sisters and my families, the Ghanaian people. In Ghana here, I'm feeling I'm in my second country. In Ghana here, listen to me, I'm not talk as ambassador, I talk from my heart. I like the country, I like the people. The people, I visit some countries, One of the countries I visited, when I reached the hotel, they told me, don't leave the country after 8 evening. I asked them why. They told me maybe someone would want to try to stealing your phone, and maybe he will kill you with the knife. So don't leave the hotel after 8 evening. There is no security. But here, when I visit Sunyani or Bricom or Hua or Volta region, or sometimes I leave the embassy at 2 morning, at 3 morning. I'm not afraid from anything. It is a peaceful country. And I try all the time to increase the relationship between my people and the Ghanaian people. The Palestinian community here, all the time, some of them like to increase this relation. Sometimes they buy a lot of things and ask me to give it to the Ghanaian people in Ghana here. And this is not, when I give the Ghanaian people something, this is not from the Palestinian people to people from another country. We have the same body, but these things from the right hand to the left hand. This is my second country. I like it, and I will continue in Ghana here. I will continue.
Excellency, let's talk about which other countries did you serve in before your encounter with Ghana?
Not to country, I'm from Gaza.
So did you come straight from Gaza to Ghana?
No.
You've
I
been
was
in
in Gaza more than 45 years. I know Gaza very well. I know the people in Gaza. I know the streets in Gaza. I know everything about Gaza. My family was there. I'm living there. My friends, plenty in Gaza. And I spent, as I told you, 45 years. And from Gaza, I traveled only to Yemen. And in Gaza, as you know, and in all Palestine, not only in Gaza, there is conflict for a long time. And when I went to Yemen, the Yemens start to fight against each other, and there was conflict between the Yemen's people to kill each other, and so I spent in Yemen 5 years, and then I traveled to Jordan for 1 month and 15 days, and then I come to Ghana.
Wonderful.
So when you look to what's the situation in Palestine, how much we are suffering, the situation in Yemen, how much I suffering, and then I come to this peaceful country. So because of that, I like this country. I want to continue here. I don't want to leave it.
And we like you. We don't want you to go.
Yeah.
All right then. So let's talk about life before October 7th in Palestine. What was it like? Let's talk about life before October 7th. What was Palestine like?
Listen to me. My people suffering more than 75 years now under the Israeli occupation. Before some people think this conflict started on the 7th of October. Those people, they don't understand the history and don't read the history. Israel, before the Israelis start to come to my country, they was living in the European country and in Russia and some of the other countries. They was not in Palestine. The European countries, some of them don't like the Israelis to be in their country. They want to remove them to another country. And they asked their leader in that time, which country would like to go? To Palestine, to Argentina, or to Uganda? They was not in my country. All the people who's living in Palestine, they are Palestinian. The leaders of Israel said, we want to go to Palestine. We want to establish Israel in Palestine. You understand? If you open the history book and read, when the British occupied Ghana, the British was occupied Palestine in the same time, and occupied Egypt, and occupied India, and occupied, she occupied 30% from this world one day, British. Now, British is in her country. So before the 7th of October, my people suffering too much under the Israeli occupation. When the Israelis start to come to our country, the Palestinian people think they want to living with us in peace. So if they need water, we give them. If they need food, we give them. If they want to living with us, it's okay for my people. We don't think that when they become more than the Palestinian people and the British give them all the weapons, you can imagine tanks, rockets, warplane, everything they give them. And the Israelis become strong. They start in 1948, they start to bombing our villages and our cities. And they bombing everything in that year, and they killed 17,000 from my people. And they brought the Palestinian people from their cities and their villages. Now we have more than 6 million Palestinian people living outside Palestine. They cannot back to their housing. They cannot back to their garden. They cannot back to see their lands, because Israel take everything. You understand? So Israel occupied 78% from our lands in 1948. In 1967, Israel started war against the Palestinian people and occupied all Palestine. Israel occupied Gaza. Israel occupied the West Bank. Israel occupied East Jerusalem, the capital city and the heart of the Palestinian people. And occupied not only the Palestinian lands, occupied Sinai, it is Egyptian land, and occupied the Golan, it is Syrian lands. And as you know, Egypt started war in 1973 against the Israeli army, and Egypt won this war, and now all their lands is free because the Egypt army is very strong. And he killed more than 3,000 from the Israeli soldiers in Sinai. And he bombing everything to the Israelis in Sinai. And he free his lands. So before the 7th of October, my people suffering too much under this occupation. From 1967, all my people living under the Israeli occupation. You know what that mean? You know when someone tries to control your life, your water, your light, your food, your medicine, your education, the health of the people, Israel control all our life. And you see in the West Bank 2 routes, one to the Palestinian people, and one to the Israeli people. The one for the Israeli people, there is no checkpoints at all. The one for the Palestinian people, more than 10, 20 checkpoints to check the people. There is nothing, only stop the car and ask you to wait. They want to do our life very difficult. They want all the Palestinian people to leave their lands. They want to stealing all our lands and our housing. But the Palestinian people will not allow to them. And then the first intifada in 1989 start, 5 years, stone against tank. And the Israelis killed more than 2,000 from my people. And they injured more than 20,000 from my people. 5 years. Only stone against their tanks. Because my people looking for freedom and want to be free. The second intifada, the Israelis killed more than 4,440 from my people. And they injured more than 60,000 from my people. Before the 7th of October. When the first intifada started, there's nothing in our history. His name is Hamas. There's no Hamas. There's only Fatah and Yasser Arafat leading the struggle of the Palestinian people against this occupation. So the conflict between the Palestinians and the Israelis did not start in the 7th of October. And this conflict not between Hamas and the Israelis. Some people like to say, we ask to stop the conflict between Hamas and Israel. Why? Why?
You think this is beyond just Hamas and Israel?
Not
right?
Between Hamas and Israel. If this between Hamas and Israel, tell me, Israel killed now 15,000 children, 15,000 babies. This babies Hamas? This babies understand anything about the political parties? These children read the history of this conflict between the Israelis and the Palestinian people. The Israelis killed more than 10,000 women now. Women, moms.
Excellency, the argument has been that we wouldn't have been here if Hamas hadn't attacked Israel on the 7th of October. What do you make of this?
Listen to me. This conflict, as I told you, don't start in the 7th of October. Gaza, 16 years, Israel siege Gaza. If you want to travel, you should take permission from the Israelis. Bombing Gaza from time to time. In 2008, the Israelis bombing Gaza, and they killed how much? 2,000 from the Palestinian people. In 2012, Israel bombing Gaza before the 7th of October, and they killed 700 from my people. In 2014, 51 days, Israel was bombing Gaza. Gaza. Look to the people who's killed now in Gaza. Yesterday, they bombing. They left Jabalia now, but last week they was working in Jabalia. How many people they killed? How many buildings they destroyed to the people? How many housing they destroyed to the people? If you open the TV and see what's happening in Jabalia, you cannot imagine this happened in this time in 2024. There is no housing to the people. They're bombing all the housing to the people. When the people left Jabalia And they try to back to see their housing. There's no housing. No kitchen, no bedrooms, no salon, no clothes, no bedroom, nothing. You back to your house, you don't find anything. They call the people, leave your house. Okay. The people leaving the house, where they will go? To the mosques, they bomb it. To the church, they bomb it. To the schools, they bomb it. To the hospitals, they bomb it too. They try to kill anything on their way. Why? All the world support the two-state solution. All the world. The President of the United States of America, his Minister of Foreign Affairs, Blinken, and Biden, all of them say the only solution for this conflict, the two-state solution.
You don't think a two-state solution is the best way to...
All the world support it.
Take away this...
All the world support it. Except Israel. Because the Israelis don't believe we are human. And they say it. Some of their ministers, they say, we are animals. I cannot understand. We are in 2024.
The 21st century.
They cannot understand why the Palestinian people, to now, we're close to 8 months. They're bombing Gaza, and nobody thinks to leave his country. We will not leave. They said to the Israelis, if you want to kill more, kill. We will not leave our lands. Now the world start to understand. The people in the world start to understand everything about this conflict. And they start to understand that the Palestinian people looking for freedom. We want to be free from this occupation. And plenty people in this world, most of the world start to understand and to move from the dark to the light. That the Palestinian people, we should find solution to this, to their support their struggle to the establishment of an independent Palestinian state on the land which occupied in 1967. Israel don't want.
Well, you say Israel doesn't want a two-state solution to this problem. But also information out there indicates that in the past there have been numerous ways to introduce peace when it comes to Israel and Palestine. Unfortunately, most of the initiatives in trying to resolve or bring about peace in the region have not been successful because Palestinians have not really been cooperative in ensuring that there is peace or peace prevails between Israel and the people of Palestine.
Listen to me. Our suffering starts when in the first moment when Israel started to occupy my country. And our struggle starts in the same moment. Now, in 1993, our former president, Yasser Arafat, he think that if we sign agreement with the Israelis, maybe there will be peace in Palestine, and there will be like two states living together and in peace. Yeah. He went to Oslo and he signed agreement with the Israelis.
Right, in Norway.
Oslo agreement. I was in Gaza at that time. You know, all the Palestinian people start to organize very big demonstration support to this
Oslo declaration.
To Oslo agreement. Because according to this agreement, Israel should leaving our lands which occupied in 1967 after 5 years. In the other side, the Israelis start to organize very big demonstration against the agreement. And their prime minister now, Benjamin Netanyahu, he started leading this agreement, and they took very bad against the prime minister of Israel in that time, Yitzhak Rabin, who signed the agreement with Yasser Arafat. What the Israelis doing? They start to organize demonstration against the agreement, and one from the Israelis people, his name is Igal Amir, he shot the prime minister of Israel and he killed him.
Right.
He killed him. After he killed him, he don't killed only Yitzhak Rabin. He killed the peace process between the Palestinians and the Israelis. And some reports said that someone put something in the food of our former president Yasser Arafat and they killed him too. We are looking for peace. We like the peace. Any human in this world, he should support the peace between all the people in this world. For me, I like all the leaders in this world to use the money for their countries, for the agriculture, for the education, for the hospitals, the health of the people, for the children, and to help the women. For me, it is better that they buy the weapons, because if we are normal people, we should looking and we should like to see all the people living in peace. Stop killing in this world. Why? So my people like to living in peace only. We want the Israelis to leave our lands which we occupied in 1967. Leave our lands. We don't like anyone to control our life. We don't like to see the occupation. Maybe some people think we hate the Israelis because they are Israelis. No. Or some people think we hate them because they are Jewish. They are not a Christian, by the way, you know. The Israelis, they are not Christian, they are Jewish. We don't hate them because they are Jewish or because they are Israelis. We don't like and we hate the occupier. Anyone try to occupy your country, you will defend about your country and your people. Anyone try to control any country in this world, all the people has the right to defend about themselves. And the Palestinian people defend about themselves against the worst occupation in the history, the Israeli occupation. They should stop and leave our lands. They should look back to sign. It is better for them to sign agreement with the Palestinian people and living in peace. What they want more? They want to kill more from the Palestinian people? Let's see what will happen in the end. They think we are still in 1967 and the world still in 1948. Israel occupied, as I told you, Gaza, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, Golan, Syrian lands, and Sinai. You know, in 6 days. 6 days only. Occupied all these lands in 1967. In 2024, they cannot occupy Gaza now more than 8 months. And Gaza, small country, 360 kilometers. Accra, big more than Gaza. Accra, big more than Gaza. They cannot occupy Gaza. We are not in 1967. The world not in 1967. The world now cannot understand and he cannot believe that Israel is bombing full families in Gaza. Look at the demonstration in the universities in all the world. Look, some Ghanaian people come to my office before a few days. I don't know them, I don't met them before. And they told me we want to organize demonstration and we take permission from the policeman. We need only some flags. I told them some flags from themselves. Most of the demonstration, the Ghanaian people organize it, they are doing it from themselves. They pay the money from themselves because they support the justice, support the human rights, support the international law. We want to see justice in this world. We want to see justice to this conflict. Stop. The Israelis should stop and leave our lands. It is better for them if they are looking for peace. But as I told you, they don't believe we are a human. They think we are animals. We are not people for them.
Over 140 countries out of the 193 UN members recognizing Palestine's right to exist as a country and also to be in charge of their space and, of course, their political entity. And this has received overwhelming support when it comes to the United Nations General Assembly. But my question is, Excellency, what do you think about this? Before I even go to my next question, what do you think about the UN General Assembly's support?
That's mean for me, all the people start to understand all the land which occupied in 1967, it is Palestinian lands. And the Israelis should leave these lands. And all the world start to believe with the two-state solution. Listen to me. Most of the country, for a long time, they recognize with Palestine. Now, if Spain and Ireland and Norway recognize with Palestine, this is very good. And I like to thank them, by the way. I like to thank them. But for a long time, most of the country recognized with Palestine. What do you want from the people to think, or the leaders in this world to think, when they saw only since 8 months, the Israelis killed 36,500 from my people. 5,000 of them children. Yesterday, they're bombing housing in Al-Burej and in Nusayrat, two Palestinian cities in Gaza. Most of them is children, they are children. Children 2 years, 3 years. Some pregnant women, they killed them. Some of our children, their mom have birthed them in the war, and the Israelis killed them in the war. They burned them after the 7th of October, and the Israelis killed these babies in the last month. What you want the world to think when he see on the TV, what's happened? You know, when America bombing Japan, the second war, they killed 77,000 from the Japanese people in 2 bombs, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, 2 cities. 77,000 people. Now the Israelis killed 36,500 from my people, and there is more than 20,000 under the buildings died. We cannot remove the housing to check for our people. You talk about 50,000 people from the Palestinian people, and you talk about more than 100 injured people. What's that mean? You don't want the world to recognize with Palestine? If anyone, you or me, killed only 10 children, what they will call you? They will call you terrorist, right? They will call me terrorist. What's about government killed more than 15,000 children, bombing the housing of the people, ask the people to leave their housing, and then they bomb it. What we can call it? You know, I will tell you something. Some of the women, you don't have children. I saw in the TV 2 women, 2. One of them 11 years, and one of them 14 years. And they went to the doctor to check why she don't have children. After 11 years, one of them have twice children. The second one have 1 children. She have birth and she have 1 children. The Israelis killed the 3 children. And the world see what's happened in Palestine. So this is very important to the Palestinian people. That's 144 country now recognized with Palestine. And the Israelis should understand that they should leave our lands enough. And they should stop killing. They should stop their occupation to my people. In the world now, any country recognized with Palestine, in the vote on the UN or the Security Council, they will vote with Palestine. Not like before, with absent. They will vote with Palestine, and they will stand with our side. I think the next week, Slovenia will recognize with Palestine too, because their Prime Minister asked the Parliament to vote about it.
And Malta.
Yes, I think the next Tuesday.
Yes.
And this is very important. And I think there is another country will follow Slovenia too. We are in 2024. They should understand the world changed. In the past, all the people watching the CNN and the BBC. Now, your phone, the media, the people start to know the truth, start to know the reality in this world, start to know everything about the conflict between the Palestinians and the Israelis. You cannot imagine what's happened in the European countries now when the people following the ministers of the United States of America and members of the Congress and some of the European leaders, and they attacked them, your hands. There is a blood on your hands. Because they are killing, because the killing of the Palestinian people.
Excellency, 146 members of the UN General Assembly, right? I think that the final decision lies with the Security Council. Where do we go from the 146 without the, in agreements with the Security Council? If the Security Council is not really, opening the doors for this 146 countries who have agreed to recognize Palestine as a state, what happens from there?
You know what's the problem in the Security Council? We will have the same problem which happened before 2 weeks when the International Court of Justice asked to stop the war in Rafah city. They take the decision to the Security Council. The problem there, all the countries vote to stop the war, except America using the veto. This is the problem. The United States of America, all the time in the Security Council, if there is any decision against Israel, they're using the veto against this decision, and they stop it. This is the problem. Ghana voted with Palestine before 2 weeks, because Ghana stand all the time with the side of justice and the human rights and the international law. And this time, I'd like to thank the President of the Republic of Ghana and the government of Ghana and all the Ghanaian people about their big support to Palestine and the Palestinian people. So all the world asked Israel to stop this war. Israel refused. What they want to occupy all Gaza. Okay, after that, what will happen? Let me ask. Now the children, the Palestinian children will grow, and they saw what's happened to their fathers and to their families. When you watching the TV and looking to their eyes, you will see and understand how much they are angry about what's happened to their people. These children, when they grow, what they will do? The big leader in this world, he don't think about himself. He think about the future of his people and the future of his neighbors and the future of all the world. Any big leader in this world, he don't think I am Muslim or I am a Christian. He should think about the future of his people. If he's big leader, all his people, the Muslims and the Christians. The Israelis think about themselves only. And a human in this world, I think, if you have children, anything you like it to your children, you should have it to other children. But if you think only about yourself and the future of your children, I think you have problem. You have problem. So we need more support from the UN. And I like to thank the General Secretary of the UN because he all the time, he said the truth. And I remember when the last General Secretary of the UN, he said something about the settlement and the stealing of our lands. The Prime Minister of Israel attacked him, he is terrorist. You see? He say about him, he is terrorist. Anyone say anything against them, they direct say he is terrorist. All the people terrorists except Israel. They should understand about the future. It's better for them. It's better, wallah, for them. It's better for them. The world changed now. Let's see what will happen.
Right.
Okay.
Let's see what happens, and we are keenly following developments, especially at the global stage when it comes to the United Nations, the UN General Assembly. Over 146 countries exactly out of the 193 are seeking support, and they are recognizing the state of Palestine, which is very important. I think it's about time, and I'm sure more countries are going to follow suit in the coming days, and so we will be following keenly and bring you all the developments on diplomatic affairs. My guest has been the ambassador of the State of Palestine to Ghana, His Excellency Abdel Fattah Ahmed Khalil Asatari, and it's been a pleasure speaking with him to learn more about the people of Palestine and of course the region, the current situation. Thank you so much, Excellency.
Thank you for you too.
For speaking to us. We really appreciate it.
Thank
right.
you.
My name is Harriet Nartey. The show is Diplomatic Affairs, and we are taking you back to the studio. Right, now let's take you to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration for the third Made in Ghana event, which has been successfully held, themed Promoting Made in Ghana Goods and Services for Economic Prosperity. The bazaar aimed at facilitating the penetration of Ghanaian products and services into foreign markets through the network of Ghana's missions abroad and diplomatic missions accredited to Ghana. Let's take you to the Accra International Conference Center, where the three-day event took place.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration will continue to work together with its partners to identify more markets for our Ghanaian products and services. It is in this light that this bazaar is being held with the view of compiling data on our exhibitors and to circulate same with our Ghana missions abroad, as well as our diplomatic missions accredited to the Republic of Ghana to help identify markets for them to expand.
As you inspect the booths and products on display, I entreat you to appreciate that each product is a reflection of the passion and commitment to achieve the quality standard and price competitiveness welcomed by consumers, as well as our progress with technology acquisition, product development, and innovation.
I do produce, collect, and export handicraft, precisely woodcraft. I design contemporary furniture, indigenous furniture, and maxis, statues, anything that is handmade artifacts. That's what I do here.
We are into handmade, organic handmade products. We always use things around us. We don't import anything. We use things we can get around us to make soap, like neem. Neem is all over. We use neem to make soap. You can get shea butter easily, mango, pawpaw, banana, avocado, oats, turmeric, cocoa, lemon. Just mention it a lot. I have 22 varieties of soaps.
We are the graduate Ashinochebe. It's open ahwenye, open komwadie, open sadie, waist beads. We have the one that glows in the dark. You will customize inside the you're fascinated, you're bridal fan, but mainly in our waist beads and necklaces. No.
Every material you see, any footwear you see, we basically do footwear, that's shoes, slippers, and then sandals. We also do raw cuts from belts, for belts too. So that's what we basically do.
So me share my moi such as na yade ha yembebre. In fact, I'm flooding. Me ade nyina ba. If me decide say me yes ade we say na be ma plastics ni sade nyina etimi ehu aba mfaso ama yeman no. Na ade adwuma nso aba oman ni mo. Afin so ye me dadwen say me train others say na be ya omo nso behu say when any waste be keke na mum yetimi de ye bibi foforo a ehu ba mfa so me stress nka me mpai bo ne say aban ne beboa yen a ye kita sa anwuma no because enye easy say ube ye sa ejuma we nti sanka yenya support kakra ebetimi aboa ama yensu yetimi aye ama ejuma aba oman ne mu ama na aboa.
And then we do anything African, all African accessories, headpiece, necklace, bracelets, earrings, brooches, all with African bracelets. I think they should set some, I don't know if it's a firm or a platform that we can easily have access to it. Like, let's say I have these my stuffs, there's this platform that I can just join, and then maybe I can either post or get in touch with somebody, and then I'll just promote, sell these things with ease. But if you are just in the house and then you keep on posting or just walking around with these things, it's difficult to get more clients. But so I think when government sets this kind of things, they'll be able to help us sell faster.
We are into handmade African clothing, beaded jewelry, baskets, sandals, leatherware, and so forth. Okay, actually, it's going to help Ghanaian market, as they were saying. But I think they should put our product in a magazine and put in. They should give it to all the embassies in the foreign countries, so that if somebody visit the embassy, the person can see a magazine, then be watching it, then you see all the made in Ghana products. Yeah, that is my idea about it.
Let's talk about the African Union, shall we? Now, the 61st African Union Day has been observed in Accra with a flag raising and tree planting ceremony. Now, themed Education Fit for the 21st Century, building resilient educational systems for increased access to inclusive, lifelong, quality and relevant learning in Africa. This year's celebration underscored the crucial role of education in the continent's development. I'm taking you to the forecourts of the State House where this event was held.
The African Union recognizes the cardinal importance of peace, security, stability, and economic growth for the prosperity of its people. It is for this reason that the African leaders remain committed to addressing issues of food security, energy crisis, upholding democracy, climate change, health issues, internal conflicts, terrorism, and violent extremism facing the continent in this march towards attainment of the African Union Agenda of 2063. In this regard, Ghana is delighted to play host to the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, a flagship project of the AU and a key milestone in the attainment of Africa's transformational development agenda. I wish to use this opportunity to urge the member states to strengthen their commitment to the AFCFTA, as it has the potential to shape the future of the continent, strengthen its position in the global market, uplift the lives of its people, and accelerate the sustainable growth and development of the continent.
Commitment to education has marked the continent's progress since the 60s. Now more than ever, this resolve must transform Africa into the world's powerhouse for the 21st century. The AU Year of Education is a unique opportunity to recommit member states to achieving the continental strategy for education in Africa, Agenda 2030 and CDG 4, as well as Agenda 2063. Excellencies, distinguished guests, if knowledge is power, then education is the key to unlocking that power. Education is now front and center of the development debate, and with good reason. Today, 40% of all Africans are under 15. Another 100 million children will be born here by 2050. Yet, of the 1 million Africans entering the labor market every month, fewer than 25% find a job in the formal economy. This demographic dividend should offer a tremendous opportunity for Africa to build a valuable base of human capital that will serve as the engine for the economic transformation of our continent.
Again, at the same venue where the African Union Day celebration took place, there was also the celebration of the 76th UN Peacekeeping Day. And of course, the day set aside each year pays homage to gallant heroes who lost their lives in the pursuit of peace during wars in countries.
United Nations peacekeeping operations have significantly contributed to international peace and stability, strengthening institutions, empowering communities, enhancing women and youth governance participation, and supporting humanitarian efforts. We recognize the bravery and commitment of peacekeeping worldwide, embodying unity, resilience, and hope. Peacekeeping remains dedicated to safeguarding civilians, saving lives, and promoting peace and collaboration across many countries.
As one of the pioneering troops contributing countries of the United Nations peacekeeping efforts, Ghana's commitment to the key role that the United Nations plays in the maintenance of international peace and security cannot be disputed. Over the years, we have volunteered approximately 100,000 uniformed personnel as well as civilians in various capacities in more than 35 UN missions around the world. Our uniformed personnel have served with pride and distinction since the 1960s, working in diverse and challenging conflict and post-conflict situations. Their contributions have not only brought hope to conflict-affected regions, but also brought honor and pride to our dear nation, Ghana. The changing nature and sacrifices of modern-day conflict, complicated by terrorist threats and the dire humanitarian and socio-economic situations, pose a challenge to the international community. It is regrettable that despite the noble mission that the Blue Helmets carry out every day in extremely difficult and dangerous situations, we continue to witness an upsurge in conflict and war situations in many parts of the world. This underscores the need for continued support for member states and communities to enable UN peacekeepers carry out their mandate effectively.
Right, so still on diplomatic affairs, let's talk about UNESCO. UNESCO, headquartered in Paris, France, is one of the multilateral platforms that showcases everything multilateral activities across the world, where diversity is celebrated, tolerance is celebrated, and of course unity and integration are key as well when it comes to the operations of the UNESCO platform. So it's been a very good event held by UNESCO. Every year this event takes off, and it's all about cultural diversity. This year's I happen to be in Paris, France, courtesy Ghana mission in Paris, of course, and it was such a great experience. There was the exhibition by diverse or different countries, and also the food bazaar. And you know, when it comes to culinary diplomacy, Ghana is always on top of the list. Ghana's jollof rice stole the day. Everybody queued and ready to have a taste of our delicious jollof. I had the opportunity to interact with Ghana's representative to Paris, and it was such a great experience. I'm taking you all the way to the headquarters of UNESCO and share all the experience with you. Right, so away from my beautiful country, Accra, Ghana, let me take you all the way to France, Paris, and it's all about UNESCO. You know, when we talk about UNESCO, we are looking at culture, we are looking at education, we are looking at sciences, we are looking at promoting diversity. All these elements play a key role when it comes to cohesion and, of course, integration. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful initiative when we talk about UNESCO Africa Week celebration. It's a great initiative. It happens every year after a bit of a break. The event or the initiative is back on the road, and I happen to be here in Paris to be part of this all-important occasion. And like I said, it was a beautiful sight to behold. We had several African countries participating in the exhibition and the food bazaar. Now, you know, when it comes to Africa, Ghana is one of the countries that is on the agenda. You know, you cannot talk about Africa without talking about West Africa, talking about Ghana. So yes, we participated in the exhibition where we promoted made in Ghana products and of course some services. And then when it came to the food bazaar bit, we also showcased who we are through our food.
You look lovely.
Congratulations, Excellency. Well, it is the UNESCO Africa Week celebration. Here we are at the Ghana stand and everybody is looking forward to our food. Now let's talk about the power of culinary diplomacy.
Well, look at women diplomats. You see, this is the ambassador of Nigeria, permanent delegate to UNESCO, and this is the ambassador of Angola, permanent delegate.
We have tried Ghanaian food,
and they like the Ghanaian food. But we are going to try all their different foods. You see, what we do in the African Week is to really highlight and show the different foods from Africa.
Yes.
And then you'll see that most of the food is actually though very, very different. Or let's say it's got a basic theme, all of food, you know. But you know, in Africa we like to eat with everybody. And so you can see whether so whether it is from South Africa or from North Africa or from
Southern Africa,
you can see that the way that we prepare our food is to make sure that everybody can partake of the food. It doesn't matter what your social class is, you can partake of the food. And so every time you will see that in UNESCO, the Africa Week was always very, very, very successful. You know, and we also thank all our colleague ambassadors from all the other countries because they always support us. Very well.
Can I add
Thank you,
something?
please.
There's something I'm looking forward to. Yesterday we had the Nigerian Day. We have our stand. We had our stand, we had our food, and we had most especially the jollof rice. Now, Ghana has its own jollof rice. I want people who tasted our jollof rice and that of Ghana today to make a statement.
But they won the championship for jollof rice.
Nigeria is always top.
Angola, it's Angola.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yes, I am through. I'm doing the food.
You have to tell them what we have.
Now, beef stew.
Okay. Jollof rice.
It's roasted.
Roasted.
Some coconut juice. Fish powder.
The ambassador is
You'll see that in different places they also have fried plantains. So that's good. Thank you so much, Mr. Chef.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chef is also won a trophy 2 weeks ago for his jollof rice.
You have to start the dish first.
Oh, I have to start the tasting. Oh, okay.
Can I stand here? Take this.
Thank you. And then you give us this idea. This
I'm about to call her to bring you the record.
Before we draw the curtain, there's this story that needs to be told. Also because the ambassador of Italy to Ghana is a very good associate of our platform, which is the Diplomatic Affairs TV show. And of course, it was the National Day of Italy right here in Ghana, which also served as her last term serving as the representative of Italy right here in Ghana. It was such a massive attendance where we had so many people patronizing this event. It was a night of showcasing Little Italy right here in the capital of Ghana, Accra, and we had such a great experience. As always, the ambassador also talked about the interesting relations between Italy and the Republic of Ghana.
Ghana has become in 2024 a priority country for the Italian development cooperation. And we look forward to developing in the near future more projects in the agro-food, education, health and digital sectors, and to keep on supporting Ghana, which is a beacon of peace, stability and democracy in West Africa and in the continent. The volume of bilateral trade yielded 880 million euros in 2023, the highest level recorded in the past 10 years. And our embassy is deeply committed to promote further opportunities as regards trade and investment. In the education sector, I wish to highlight the scholarships for Ghanaian students, which will double this year, and many other initiatives, from the completion of TVET centers to training programs for Ghanaian workers for them to work in Italy through regular channels of migration.
Italy's plan and its presidency of the G7 have brought renewed focus and vigor to its partnership with African countries. Ghana is honored to be designated as a priority country for Italian development cooperation in 2024. This focus promises to bring about collaborative projects in agro-food, health, education, and digital innovation sectors, areas that are vital for our nation's development. One of the cornerstones of our partnership is trade. Italy is one of Ghana's significant trading partners within the European Union. Our countries engage in the exchange of goods such as cocoa, gold, and timber from Ghana, and machinery, chemicals, and textiles from Italy. The impressive volume of bilateral trade between our countries is a demonstration of the dynamic economic relationship we share.
L'Italia se desta dall'elmo del scipio, se cinta la testa, dove la vittoria le porga la chioma, che scaffia di Roma, e Dio la criò, stringendoci a cuote, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò, stringendoci a cuote.
To you soon. This is where we end today's episode of the only show that brings you happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations, Diplomatic Affairs. It is always a pleasure having you as our guest as we bring you all the current affairs and trendiest of issues in this particular area. My name is Harriet Nartey, and of course, I look forward to sitting with you once again, same time next week. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye-bye.